very awkward person. So every time I get better at a language and I learn, I become increasingly awkward. Because when you don't know the language, people are willing to tell, oh, you're awkward because you don't speak the language well. And they come to realize that I speak better, like, oh, you're like that all the time. All the time. Jesus fucking, why did I help you? But anyway, so comedy is also a way that I cope. And last time I was here, it was deeply, deeply traumatic. In the sense that, like, I mean, I heard all these jokes, and no one was laughing, and it was not their fault, it was my fault. Right? And yeah, exactly. And there was the kind of embarrassment and trauma that, like, kind of stuck with me in the back of my head. Like those moments when you watch, like, see George Clooney do a pickup line, and I see, oh, maybe that will work on me. And then I forget that itsy tiny detail that I'm not fucking George Clooney. It's not going to work on me. It's going to play on repeat all the time. And like, they would have that image of the memory, and my inner voice would constantly like echo me and say, "Don't do that." I was like, in my head, I would go, "Hey, no, don't do it." Did it hurt? Stop, no, there's still time, Because you've fallen, how low you could go? From heaven. Fuck no! And I would go on, and it would play on repeat. But it's fine. Trauma is an old friend. Since I was young, these were repetitive. And so come Mother's Day, like I created this flower with paper, colored paper and glue, and I created this, and I put it there, and I was being romantic to my mother, and I was like, I'm not going to brag about it, I'm not going to show it. I'm going to put it there where she would see it, but I'm going to be from afar and watch it. And as I watched, she just went over and just put it into the dustbin. And as a child, of course, I would be upset, right? I would be upset, and I tried to confront her. I tried to pick it up from the dustbin, and she was like, "Thank you so much. You're helping me with garbage. I thought you were just making a mess and just running away, like your father. But you divorced with my father when I was born." Exactly, but enough about that. It's just garbage. It's just garbage under the bridge. But thank you so much. Best son ever. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Help you with garbage. But the thing with like trauma is that you learn from these kind of things, that you become better. And the problem I have with children these days, as a teacher, is that they don't have enough trauma. They don't learn from these things. True. Do you know how I know this? Because Korean students these days have allergies. They are not supposed to have allergies. Like Koreans, the only thing that is going for us as a race is the fact that we don't have allergies. Blacks are manly, whites have privileges, Asians don't have allergies. Right? Asians don't have allergies. Because if you have an allergy, you either overcame it or you died. Right? Now imagine, like, for the Koreans out there, like telling your mother, "Mom, this sausage is making me feel weird." And your mother would go, "What? You're too young to have sex yet. Go eat your sausage." Right? That's what they will do. And if you died 20 years ago, what did they do? They just replaced you. Just make another one. After you go, you die, and they'll just scoot you over, and the mother would go like, David, get down here! I'm ready to, So yeah, so you would not overcome allergies, but at least you would become over as a kid. He gets it. I'm happy that at least someone gets it. Yeah, so this mentality of trying to improve yourself over time is something that stuck with me. I always try to do that to my significant others. I try to put my best foot forward, right? So that's what we all do, right? We want to impress our loved ones so that they will like you, and that's all great. But the problem with this mentality is this. When you finally hear that person say, I love you. In the back of your head, you go, no you don't. You look my best foot, right? So you know when I take a shower and want to pee, I don't get out of the shower. I have a Word document that I want to memorize, I would keep pressing Control plus S. If you guys know this reference, you're old. If you don't, anyway. So moving right along. I travel a lot because I live in Jeju, and I can imagine that all of you travels a lot as well. And whenever I go on a plane, there's one thing that I secretly want all the time. And because I always ride economy, I always want the business passengers to be less attractive and older than I am, because that's how my fragile ego works. But I also kind of think about why are they there? Because everything sucks on a plane. I can imagine that everyone agrees with me on the fact that everything sucks on a plane. More so if you have money, right? If you have money, you can go elsewhere and have greater food. If you have money, you can get better service. But that got me thinking, why are they sitting there? Right? Why do they bother to sit there? And I realized the answer to this by a young boy who was old enough to know about money, but too young to punch him in the face, because he had his quivering upper lip. He was so satisfied with the fact that he was on business class. Oh, money! They're going to economy! I am sitting on business class. They must be lower beings than I am. I really wanted to punch that guy. But the solace was that when the plane crashed, if and when the plane crashed, that motherfucker is going to die first. That is the one solace I have. Couples, because many couples are traveling together, right? Because many couples are traveling together. What you notice is that, who do you think is the hottest demographic? Does anyone have a guess? Who do you think is the hottest demographic of all the ages and all the situations? Does anyone have a guess?
George Clooney?
Yeah, George Clooney, obviously. Not George Clooney.
Okay.
The Greek?
Demographic is no. The newlyweds. The newlyweds, right? Because if they are going to get married at this climate and age, they must be at least hot enough to get married, right? So that's obvious. So I made a new term. It's called MILF, newlyweds. I like the fuck. But still, MILF. Right, now, moving right along. So now we know this. Now we know what? That there's a quid pro quo. There is, if you're hot enough, there is a reward. If you are hot enough, there is something that's going to happen, right? Now, the next thing I realize is that as you move further and further away from your home country, as you move further and further into luxurious, very hot hotels, lovely places, guys get progressively richer, girls get progressively hotter. Which is to say, now this is a very weak pun, but there's something good afterwards, that feminism has a long, long way to go. Right? Feminism has a long, long way to go. Now, building on that, obviously feminism has a long, long way to go. There is a problem with our world, right? A woman doesn't get paid as much, and the biggest thing I have a problem with, the feminists not going too far enough, is that there are still men in 2024, that men are still sending dick pics, right? Pictures of their penises. Why are they still sending pictures of their penises? How much love can they have about their penis? How the audacity and the bravery, where do they get that? From their body. Where do they get that? And obviously because Gio likes penis, but still. Right, where do they get that? But having said that, ladies, you need to do something about this, right? You need to make them stop, or...
Can we send them a vagina pic?
Actually, that was my punchline.
Oh, I'm sorry!
So my point was, ladies, love yourself, be brave, be a feminist, send nudes. Thank you very much, I'm Jongho Lee.